I turned 26 on Sunday, so to commemorate that, I wanted to talk about 26 of my all-time favorite books. I have a lot of favorite books, but all of these are books that I will continuously recommend, I will continuously talk about. I think about them often, and because there are so many, I'll try not to say too much about them. Starting with books from middle and high school, most of these are books that I've read in class, and I had to own my own physical copy, and I have reread these multiple times throughout my life. Flowers for Algernon by Daniel Keyes, The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky, The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald, and The Giver by Lois Lowry. Next are books that I read during undergrad. I wasn't reading as much as I did in high school, but I was very intentional about the books that I did pick up. So these are all books that really helped shape my worldview. I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings by Maya Angelou. This is one of my favorite autobiographies. Things Fall Apart by Chinua Achebe. I think this is the first book that I read by an African author. Homegoing by Yaa Gyasi. I think about this book probably once a week, and I can't wait to reread it this month. Brother, I'm Dying by Edwidge Danticat. I actually came across this book because a stranger handed it to me while I was walking to class. Edwidge Danticat was on campus doing a book talk about this book. I unfortunately had class when it was going on, but I did get a free book out of it, and again, it's one of my favorite books of all time. And this last stack are all books that I've read in my early 20s, as I've since returned to the reader that I grew up being. The first two being Sula and The Bluest Eye by Toni Morrison. When We Were Birds by Ayanna Lloyd Bonwo. This was the first book that I realized I can like books outside of the genres that I typically read. Chain Gang All-Stars by Nana Kwame Adjei-Brenyah. Giovanni's Room by James Baldwin. Babel by R.F. Kuang, which is my very first 6-star read. She Would Be King by Wayétu Moore. This is the first book that I read by a Liberian author. All three books in the Broken Earth trilogy by N.K. Jemisin. This is my favorite trilogy of all time, and I'm so excited to be rereading this next year. The first three books in the Legendborn cycle by Tracy Deonn. Black Feminist Thought by Patricia Hill Collins. I read this in grad school for an independent study about Black feminist research methods, and it really changed my worldview of Black feminism, of feminism in general, and introduced me to the long history that Black women, Black intellectuals have had with feminism. Black and Blues by Imani Perry. This is a more recent book for me, but it's a book that I will want to continue to read over and over and over again. Parable of the Sower by Octavia E. Butler. The Autobiography of Assata Shakur. And last but certainly not least is Immortal Dark by Tigis Girma. Eternal Ruin would have been on this list, but I'm still mad at how that book ended.